Well, the one who seems to be most up to speed on this is Carl Swinson in Georgia. Interesting enough, Carl was the first person to do the 21st century grand jury, citizens grand jury. And Carl's website is riseupforamerica.com. Just 4 words all run together. riseupforamerica.com. I got a call earlier from Darren Huff, who is a co-defendant with Fitzpatrick on some of these, but he's also in Georgia, and he's under federal indictment. I mean, the corruption goes so deep, and it's all because Fitzpatrick brought charges of treason against the usurper in chief. So the best way I could find out myself was through Carl Swinson at Rise Up for America. So if you go to his website, he should be updating that immediately.
Okay. All right. Did you get that information? RiseUpAmerica.com.
Rise Up for America.
Rise Up for America, pardon me. RiseUpForAmerica.com, Carl Swinson's website, and information regarding Walter Fitzpatrick, Lieutenant Colonel Walter Fitzpatrick, should be updated there on that site.
Yeah, he's a lieutenant commander. He was Navy.
I'm sorry, commander. Pardon me.
Yeah.
All right. Do we have any other questions? All right, the number again is 646-845-9707. Do we have our regular Manning Report page up on the website, or depends on how people are listening to us? Again, the number is 646-845-9707. In the event that that number is not visible to you.
Yeah, I don't see the number on the website.
It should be there. But let me give it out once again. Number 646-845-9707. Why don't we do this? Again, thank you, Captain Turner. Let's take a break, and we'll return after the news, the RN news, and we'll proceed from there with the Manning Report. You have another caller coming through? 2 calls coming through. All right. All right, let's take these 2 calls and see what happens from there. We somehow know that our number's not being placed appropriately. Excuse me? All right, let's take the first call. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Carl Swinson. How you doing today?
Well, what a blessing to hear from you.
Pastor Manning, it's been a pleasure following your progress. And on the other side of the building. Sorry about that. I'm really excited to hear that you've got this information finally out there for public disclosure. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I don't know how I can tell you how much I appreciate all the work that you've done and your service to this great country. So,
well, I think that we all owe you a debt of gratitude for your starting this process and making us aware of the fact that we can proceed to grand jury proceedings on the Mr. Obama. So thank you. But I want to know what is happening with Lieutenant Commander Walter Fitzpatrick. Did they injure him? They arrested him? They accused him of resisting arrest? Could you tell us what took place? And while you're speaking, we have several other callers now that have called in. Please remain on the line. We will get to you, but I want you to be patient so that we can treat each caller with the kind of deliberate information that's necessary. So continue, if you will, Mr. Swinson.
Yes, yesterday I got information that the arrest warrant had been issued for Lieutenant Commander Fitzpatrick, and I was trying my best to get confirmation of this. I put forth calls to Darren and a few other people to see what I could find out, and I really didn't get anything back until this morning when Darren Huff called me, and he told me that, yes, in fact, he had been arrested. He had just gotten off the phone with Tim Harrington, and according to Tim, after Tim had talked to him, he said it was 10 minutes after that where they broke down his door and did in fact arrest him. And it must be noted at this point that according to sources, the arrest warrant that he was served did not have any signatures on it. these people are completely out of control in this town of Sweetwater and, Madisonville, Tennessee. That county
Was
is...
what is a federal warrant, federal officials, or local state officials that affected the arrest?
These were local officials that affected this arrest,
Okay.
And this was because he was not present at a hearing that occurred a couple of days ago. And I've got to let you know that neither he nor Darren Huff were ever advised that this hearing was to occur. Okay. So they said that a hearing was scheduled, and they used that as justification to put him in the pokey. So, as far as I know, that's where he's at. I have grave concerns over his health and well-being right now. He was when he found out that they were doing this, as you can well imagine, being a lieutenant commander and being true to his cause, he was not going to go easily or quietly. So, all I can tell you is...
I pray that he is well, and I think he was arrested a few months ago, and he was fasting throughout the period of his arrest, and finally they released him. I'm very concerned now that this second arrest has taken place, and we want to alert the people within the immediate region, but also people who have traveled great distances into Madison County. The town is called Sweetwater. Is that what the town is called?
Well, the actual courthouse is located in Madisonville.
Madisonville.
Right. Walt is from the town of Sweetwater,
okay,
which is an adjoining town.
Now, he would be held at the Madisonville jailhouse or lockup. Is that right?
That is correct. The sheriff's department there. That's the only lockup facility that they have.
And Tim Harrington is also within that region as well, because we need to try to establish some way that Lieutenant Commander can be supported. I know people who are willing to get in their cars and drive from Oklahoma into Tennessee and from other places as well. They have had enough of this Gestapo action by these people in Madisonville. They are just off the charts. They're worse than people in Washington. So if there's any further information that you can post up on your website at riseupforamerica.com so that people can know where to go, who to speak with, that whatever protests or demonstration that needs to be going on outside of the Madisonville lockup or anything else in any other way that Lieutenant Commander can be supported, please put it up there, and I will continue to talk about it. But I can tell you now, many of the listeners to the Manning Report will go to Madisonville to stand with Lieutenant Commander Walter Fitzpatrick.
I can tell you this, that as a member of the small group that was with him on April 1st when Commander Fitzpatrick was arrested, myself, Darren, and one other individual were indicted along with him. And the indictments came after the fact so that they could have justified picking up Darren Huff. So they are waiting for me to show up there. I will be more than happy to do so. I just need some people. Numbers are absolutely called for here. We have to have a show of force. I mean, this is the most egregious error that I have ever seen in law. You know, they have the whole thing started for Walt when they arrested him because he was doing a citizen's arrest on a grand jury foreman who has been a grand jury foreman for 27 years at that point, okay? And by Tennessee law, by the Tennessee constitutional law, he could only be that a maximum of 2 years, and then he had to be off for 2 years.
Right.
And so they went back and forth with this, and they said, well, since it's been done, it's okay, and they could continue to do it. So bottom line is they are completely out of control in this particular town. And it's not just this county, okay? It's surrounding counties. The current judge that is on this is from a surrounding county, and he also has a grand jury foreman, a pet, so to speak, that he has had for 20 years. So apparently this is a common practice within the state of Tennessee. I will also tell you that I was in contact with the group that gives out information for the grand juries in Tennessee. And when I asked them about this, and about this grand jury foreman being there for 27 years, they said, "Oh, don't worry about that. We're going to do away with the grand juries anyway."
Well, let me say this to you, that you've got my number here. Now, I think you would want the ministry number, which is 877-777-0734. That is the number to the ministry. Of course, we've got the media number, and that number is not always attended. But the number 877-777-0734 is a hotline number. That number will be open. But I also want to, once we completed this press conference, to get on the case of informing Americans about the need to direct their support to Lieutenant Commander Walter Fitzpatrick and what's happening there in Madisonville, start flooding that place with calls or with the presence of people to let them know that they're not going to be able to do this, get away with it, and we want Lieutenant Commander Walter Fitzpatrick released right away.
Pastor Manning, I don't want to take up any more of your time because you're doing a great thing here yourself. So let me just leave you with this. If anybody can place the call to the ACLU, they need to be involved right away. People need to be placing calls to the governor. They need to be placing calls to the FBI, to the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Everything within the state of Tennessee seems to be corrupt, but we have to place the calls nonetheless. I do have it on reliable information that the FBI is now actively engaged in investigating this corrupt county. So I do not have any confirmation on that at this point. As I get information, I will be posting it up on, riseupforamerica.com. But I just want to leave you with that. Folks, if you can, please call. We need to flood the phone lines. We need to flood the phone lines at the sheriff's department there. Ask them why they served a warrant with no signatures. Ask them why they broke the door down of this man for standing up for his rights, for our rights. We need to get involved, please. Anyway, Pastor Manning, again, thank you, and thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you for what you're doing.
I'm following your progress. Neil, thank you for reminding people of this.
Please call the ACLU. Please call the federal authorities. Please call the governor. Please call. Let me echo that. Please call. You can find those numbers readily, and please go to riseupforamerica.com for further updates until we get the update that Lieutenant Commander has been released. But please do what you can. Don't sit there. Don't think that someone else should do it. You have the opportunity. Please do this. This thing has gone far too deep into Americans being treated as if we are somehow another third-class citizens. Please, if not citizens at all, please call. All right. Thank you, Mr. Swinson. Thank you. Patriot Swinson, let me call you that. Thank you so very much. All right. Do we have any other callers waiting with questions? We do. All right. Let me take another caller. Hello, caller. Hello.
Dr. Manning, can you hear me?
Yes. Could you turn your system down, your radio, whatever it is you got up? I'm getting a feedback.
You hear me now?
Yes, I can.
It's Janine. How are you?
Oh, Janine, how are you?
Good. I sent you an article on Walter yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't know, because your site has been hacked. I don't know if Elizabeth got it. It was out of Knoxville. Knoxville News put it up. It says Chattanooga. The judge ordered him to be arrested, and he will not be bonded out until December 1st. Okay. According to this article, the judge was John Blackwood, and he will be held without bail until December 1st, which the trial will be. And then it went on and it talked about Huff, and Huff is a former militia member from the Dallas, Georgia, accused of inciting a riot at the Monroe County Courthouse in April while coming to the defense of Fitzpatrick's infusion to close the grand jury session. This is a bunch of bogus stuff, but it's not bogus as far as what they're doing to him. The charges are all bogus. If you read the article that I sent you now, like I said, I don't know if Elizabeth got it.
When did you send it to her?
Because they're hacked, and sometimes Elizabeth's too busy to get to her email.
When did you send it to her?
But if you go into your email, you'll find this.
All right, I'll check with her. If I get it, I'll read it on the air today.
Yes.
She should have it. If I haven't read it within the next half an hour, chime back in again to make sure that we do get it, or resend it.
What I put on in the message bar, I put judge orders veteran arrested.